All right, picture this. You're in the garage, tools scattered, maybe some sweat happening. You're wrestling with a new tire, right? And that stubborn tire bead, that edge that has to seal perfectly against the rim, it just refuses. Won't seat.
Mm-hmm. The worst.
You've tried everything. Straps, soapy water, maybe even leaning on it just right, and it just sits there, mocking you. It's got to be one of the most frustrating DIY moments, isn't it? So the question is there actually a tool that makes this, impossible task easy? Or is it just going to be another gadget collecting dust?
Exactly. And today we're doing a deep dive into one potential answer. The Vevor Tire Bead Seater. This thing is basically an 8-liter air tank. It promises to blast 120 psi of air in less than a second to fix exactly that problem. So our mission today is to figure out, is this genuine genius engineering for the DIY mechanic, or is it maybe just a clever gimmick?
Okay, so let's unpack this. The Vevor Bead Seater, I heard it's marketed as cheaper than your Netflix subscription.
Yeah, that's the angle. Makes
Yeah.
it sound pretty accessible, right? Not some crazy expensive shop tool.
And it's only, what, 9 pounds? So
Mhm.
pretty portable, easy to stash away.
Uh-huh.
But beyond the price and the weight, what's the actual clever bit? How does it tackle this really annoying problem where, the old ways just fail?
Well, what's actually pretty fascinating here is the design. Specifically, this duckbill nozzle it has. It's not just a simple hole for air. It's shaped to create a momentary, really tight seal against the rim, just for an instant.
Okay.
And that allows the pressure inside the tank, that 8-liter tank, to build right up before it lets go with this massive sudden burst. We're talking under 1 second.
Wow, that fast.
Super fast. And it's not just inflation. It creates this rapid pressure differential. Think of it like a sudden, powerful push outwards, forcing the bead against the rim wall. It basically snaps it into place, overcoming the stiffness that slow, gradual inflation just can't.
Like shocking it into place.
Exactly. And from an engineering view, the build quality seems solid too. They use 3mm steel and, crucially, seamless welding.
Seamless. Okay. Why is that important?
Well, welds are often weak points under high pressure. Seamless means better structural integrity. It needs to safely handle that 120 psi explosion repeatedly. So yeah, from an engineering angle, it's ticking the boxes for genius, I'd say. Smart design.
Okay, the tech sounds solid, especially the safety aspect with the welding. But, the real test is always what users think, right? What are people actually saying who've used this in their own garage?
Yeah, and the user reviews, they paint a pretty compelling picture. ATV owners seem absolutely obsessed, is a quote I saw. One person said mounting tires on their side-by-side went from basically impossible to effortless. Just boom, done.
Effortless, huh? That's a strong word for tire mounting.
It is, and another user even called it safer than using ether, which, let's be honest.
Yeah, ether's basically playing with fire, isn't it? Trying to use flammable starting fluid to pop a bead.
Exactly. It's like controlled pyrotechnics you don't want in your garage.
Yeah.
So yeah, safer than ether isn't exactly high praise, but it tells you the kind of desperate measures this tool replaces. It makes that dangerous stuff obsolete.
Okay, so it sounds super effective. You mentioned the safety warning about the noise, though.
That's a key point, yeah. We need to talk about the operating range and safety together. It works between 85 and 1 in 16 psi.
Which covers?
Well, that covers a lot. Motorcycle tires, ATVs, even up to light truck tires. And it's not random. That range is kind of the sweet spot. Most stubborn beads, they tend to pop or seat right around 90 psi anyway.
Yeah.
Because of the physics involved. So this tool hits that target reliably.
Okay. Makes sense.
But, and this is important, the source is really clear, the air release sounds like a gunshot.
Yeah.
Loud, instant.
Right.
So hearing protection, absolutely essential. Safety glasses too. That instant noise factor is no joke.
Got it. Loud but effective. So based on all that, are there any common complaints? Does it not work on certain things?
Looking through the feedback, limitations seem pretty rare when it's used as intended. It really seems to excel at what it's designed for.
So wrapping this up then, what does this mean for you, the listener? Our sources keep saying this thing works where, quote, straps, soot, and prayer failed.
Oh. Yeah, sounds about right for some tires.
The math seems to work out if you're doing your own tire work fairly often, especially if you're a serious DIY mechanic or deal with ATV, tractor, that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
But maybe if you only mount a tire once every 5 years, probably overkill. Just pay the shop fee in that case.
Yeah, probably the way to go for the casual user. But for its target audience, it seems to deliver.
So ultimately, the Vevor Tire Bead Seater, It looks like a specialized tool, but one that actually does what it says on the tin, solves a real frustrating problem.
And at a price point that makes sense for the people who need it most. It really does bridge that gap between DIY frustration and almost professional ease.
Yeah, our deep dive definitely suggests it's leaning more towards genius than gimmick, but, for the right person. It really makes you think, though, doesn't it? What other sort of niche tools are out there? Tools that give you pro level results without that pro level price tag, saving you time, hassle, and maybe preventing a dangerous shortcut or two. Something to chew on.